That's it. I'm recording the session now. Okay, guys. So, well, welcome to our class number 3.2. It's the second class of the week, number three. And, well, the topic of the week, it's basically the same. The last class on Tuesday, we're talking about global issues, things that are affected everywhere, things that are important in all the world, in Japan, in Mexico, in Russia, in the United States, in Colombia, right? So those are going to be like the global issues. The TV, like the entertaining, it's a global issue, right? Because of course it's something that it's affected all over the world, depending on the movie or on the series. No, for example, if we talk about Squid Games, you know what is that series? Squid Game, which is really popular in this moment, the Squid Game.
El juego del calamar.
Exactly, very good. Do you like it?
Yes, teacher.
Great. Daniela, that it's a person from Bogota, Colombia, likes a series, but the series it's about a problematic in South Korea. No, many people are affected, like, okay, yeah, the poverty and other different issues, but the problem occurs in South Korea, a little bit with North Korea, but it's a problem on the other part of the world. Yes. So in that case, guys, this is a global issue. Okay. Give me 1 second. I'm going to close my window because it's really, really loud. So give me 1 second. I'm going to close my window. I come back in 2 seconds. Very much better. It sounds much less, right? So it's a global issue. Ready? So the series, the TV, the entertaining. For example, if we mention Shakira, who's a public figure, it's a person that is known here in Colombia, but it's also known in Spain, but it's also known in Russia, but the music is known in USA. So those are global issues, right? Well, I'm going to start the class asking you another question. Yeah. But we're going to go back to these questions in a second. The first question that I would like you to answer is this one. Christian, would you please, my friend, read the question that we have here?
What was your favorite soap opera when you growing up?
Exactly. So we have what was your favorite soap opera? What is the meaning of soap opera? Do you know what is the meaning of soap opera? No, no idea. It's a kind of TV show.
Telenovela.
Good, very good. It's telenovela, right? So when we have novel es una novela, pero escrita. So when, like, for example, 100 Years of Solitude, that it's a book, that's a novel, right? But soap opera, it's that kind of show that is usually romantic, that it's about two people who fall in love, who have problems in the relationship, like Betty La Fea, like, all of those, right? Guys, I would like you to remember the soap operas of your time and tell me which was your favorite soap opera when growing up, when you were kids, no? When you were, I don't know, 7, 10, 11 years old. Which was your favorite soap opera? What was the name?
Teacher, my favorite soap opera when I was a child was Pasión de Gavilanes because I used to watch it with my mom and my grandma.
True, true, good. Well, it happened to me too. I also used to watch Pasión de Galenes with my mom, right? Good. But I think that my favorite soap opera was undeniably, and here I'm going to use a strange word. It sounds undeniably. Ahorita vemos qué significa eso. Undeniably, it was Los Reyes. I don't know if you're, oh, Vecinos. I don't know if you remember one of those. Those were my favorite soap operas. Yeah. They were a little bit funnier, because Pasión de Gavilanes was good, but it was too dramatic. I like it more funny, right? So, but good. What about Danny? What was your favorite soap opera?
My favorite is soap opera when I was a child was Rebelde.
Ah, good, the Mexican one.
Yes.
Good, very good. Okay, great. And Brian, did you have a favorite soap opera or not really?
No, teacher, I didn't have. Only I seen caricatures.
Cartoons, cartoons. Okay, okay, good. Well, that's right. Excellent. So in that case, he liked the cartoons. Okay, guys. So in that case, today we're going to talk about the TV and shows and the different shows as a global issue. Ready? We're going to learn a little bit how to describe those TV shows using a specific resources, specific tools. Ready? Because well, of course, those tools are for describing anything, but today we focus on TV shows and series and movies, right? But then we're going to start working about these kind of things that we have here, like this kind of word. You know that when we have a word that sounds that finish in li, it's an adverb. Ya sabemos que es un adverbio, right? And it's an adverb of manner. Es un adverbio de manera. So in that case, when we have that, we can imagine that in Spanish the word finishes in mente, right? So when we see, like for example, when we see clearly, what is the meaning of clearly?
Claramente.
Claramente. But if I say, for example, quickly, what's the meaning of quickly?
Rápido.
Rápidamente.
Rápidamente. Muy bien. Very good, guys. Excellent. So when I say undeniably, it comes from the word deny, which is, of course, negar, ¿cierto? So when I have undeniably, what do you think is the meaning of that word?
Innegablemente.
Innegablemente. Muy bien. Very good. So in my case, my favorite soap opera was undeniably Los Reyes, for example, or Rebelde, or whatever. Good. So in that case, those are going to be one of the resources that we are going to use today. Why? Because when I use these adverbs, well, they are called adverbs. Ready? What we are doing is expressing a more specific meaning. When I say undeniably was, it's like, okay, the teacher is super convinced that his favorite soap opera was Los Reyes. It's not like probably it's another one. Probably, it's probablemente, right? But when I say probably, it's like, okay, it's a possibility, but I am not sure. But if I say undeniably, or definitely, or certainly, of course, those others allow me to understand, no, the teacher is super sure. The teacher is completely sure about his decision, right? So that's going to be one of the resources of today. Okay, so let me just continue. Let me just erase over here. Now, in the picture, in the infographic of the week, yes, we are going to have three questions, right? The first one was about last class, and we said, what do people use for knowing about global issues and news? Guys, what do you think that the people use for learning or for knowing about the global issues and news? TV, social media, newspapers, websites, Instagram, Twitter, bueno, X, Telegram. What do you think? What is the most common? I mean, I know that all of those are possible, but what is the most common way of learning about news?
I
Teacher,
think social media.
Social media, especially one that you said, especially Twitter, especially TikTok. No, I don't
Yes.
know.
TikTok
TikTok.
now.
Now TikTok. Okay, great, Danny. Thank you. Brian, what do you think, Mike?
oh, teacher, same.
Same TikTok. Okay. Chris, we are talking about like what is the most common way of letting to know people about the news, about the global issues. Do you think that the TV with the TV news, for example, or do you think that the websites, like for example, eltiempo.com, or social media, like for example, Facebook, Twitter? What do you think?
No, teacher. I think that maybe in Facebook, in TikTok, no, pues no sé cómo decirlo, no tanto.
Not so
It's
much.
not so much. It's less like funny videos.
Mhm. Okay, well, depending of course the algorithm of the person, no? If the person watches funny videos, it's going to yes. Good, of course, but yes, I mean, nowadays the social media it's like the most common thing. So I'm going to use a sentence of the last class, but it's just for context. It has been reported. It has been reported that social media channels like TikTok, like Instagram, like Facebook, like Twitter, the official accounts of the Caracol News or RCN News or the New Yorker or the New York Times, the official accounts. So it has been reported that in social media, the interactions have increased. Yeah, so people are knowing about the news more and more about in social media. Sometimes in people, sometimes, pardon, sometimes in TikTok, sometimes in Facebook, sometimes in Instagram, sometimes in whatever, but it's more and more. So it's increased. Good. Excellent. Now, that was a little bit about the previous class because in that case, it's also a global issue, but I am using report speech, no? So for remembering the parts of the last class. Now we have other two questions, right? Mr. Brian, I have a question here. It says, honestly, what is your entertaining guilty pleasure? Guilty pleasure. What is the meaning of guilty pleasure, guys?
Gusto culposo.
Ujú. Significa algo que te gusta, pero como que no debería gustarte, como que te da un poquito de pena que te guste. Ejemplo, no sé, for example, honestly, honestly, my entertaining guilty pleasures are Jersey Shore reality shows. It's an example. No? But I don't like it so much, but so that would be a guilty pleasure, no? Because it's something that I like it, but I don't want to admit that I like it. So that's why I said honestly, because normally the people are not honest about this thing. If they ask me, teacher, do you like the Jersey Shore reality shows? I would say, no, I don't like it. But I like it, but I'm afraid, no? So in that case, honestly, what is your entertaining guilty pleasure? No sé. Think about it. Do you have one? ¿Tienen alguno? You don't have any? I don't know. Think about it. Can be about music, can be about series, can be about TV shows. No sé, whatever. No, nothing. Brian, dale.
Teacher, movies or series with a broken humor, maybe.
Well, like a black, like yeah, like broken jokes. Like,
Yes, teacher.
okay. I like it too. Good, very good. Danny, Christian, do you have any music, anything, any artist, for example?
Teacher, honestly, my
Hmm.
entertaining guilty pleasure is My Little Pony.
My Little Pony,
Yes,
the animated movies.
Yes, of the.
Great. Okay, why do you, what is the characteristic that you like about those movies, Chris?
I don't know, maybe the magic, the fantasy.
Good, magical and fantastic. Thank you so much. Very good. Excellent. Yeah. Guys, I'm going to ask you a second question. This one it's simpler because it's more common. What is undeniably, we already know what is undeniably your favorite streaming service? You know, streaming service such as Disney Plus, Netflix, HBO, what is the other one? Amazon Prime. Which one is your favorite streaming service, guys?
Undeniably, in my case, is Netflix.
Netflix. Okay, good. Yeah, it's the most common one, right? Danny, what about you? What do you think? Maybe Max, maybe Disney Plus
My favorite streaming service is Netflix and Disney Plus.
and Disney Plus. Okay, good. Brian, which one is yours?
HBO.
HBO. Okay, good. Something a little bit different. Well, in my case, for example, my favorite streaming service is Disney Plus and Netflix too, right? But I have some reasons, no? Because in the case of Netflix, it has a lot of variety, right? It means it has a lot of options, ¿cierto? But in the case of Disney Plus, it's because it's so entertaining. Oh my God, sorry, entertaining. What is the meaning of entertaining? What is the meaning of entertaining? Okay, let's see now. What does it sound like?
Entretenido.
Entretenido, very good. So it means that it has a good content, right? Entonces, guys, in this case, we have some characteristics about the things that we like, about the streaming service, about the guilty pleasures, ¿cierto? No, teacher, honestly, my guilty pleasure is Cristiano Ronaldo because he's so athletic, because he's a good player, right? Entonces, in this case, guys, when we want to exaggerate these characteristics for justifying my answer, yes, I can do it. I can say, okay, he's magical. It's a fantastic movie, yes, but I can exaggerate those characteristics in order to justify and say, okay, es que no es solo fantástica, es tan fantástica o es muy fantástica, right? So in that case, guys, we are going to use the other resource that we are going to learn today and are these adverbs. Ready? We're going to have the adverb such and the adverb so. Ready? Such and so. Okay? These are adverbs of quantity. It means that they can give me, they can quantify or exaggerate a characteristic. Ready? But they are going to be a little bit different, right? Mr. Christian, help me to read A. Read the purple part.
Okay. Such is followed by a noun, usually modified by an adjective.
Exactly. So such is going to be followed by a noun, o sea, por una cosa, right? But usually modified by an adjective. So, for example, in that case, it's such a show. Yes, pero a show, I'm saying like a great show. So this great, it's usually modifying the word that it's after that. Yes. For example, I said, you know what? My guilty pleasure is Fate. ¿Cómo así, teacher? Why? Because he is such, and then I am going to use the noun. What is Fate? Well, he's a singer, or a person, or a man, or whatever. And before that, I'm going to introduce the characteristic that I want to exaggerate. For example, in this case, I want to exaggerate the characteristic good. So I'm saying that he's such a good singer. He's such a good man. Yes, so in that case, when I say such, I'm going to use a characteristic and then I am going to use the noun. Yes. For example, I don't know, Daniela used to watch Rebelde because it was such an entertaining what? What is the characteristic of Rebelde? A person? A woman? A music? A song? What was that? A
Soap opera.
For example, very good, a soap opera. So it was such an entertaining soap opera, or it was such an entertaining show, or it was such an entertaining program, right? This such is going to do that, right? Guys, tengan en cuenta que I can say just that it was such an entertaining show, that's it. But I can also use such a that. When I include that, it's like a consequence, right? For example, Fate is such a good singer that everybody loves him. Yeah. What is the consequence that he is a good singer? But that everybody loves him. Yes. So I can introduce another clause related, like all together with that. Right? Example here, it says, it is such a great show that I bought all 8 seasons. Right? So it's going to be something similar, but without the noun. It's going to introduce only the adjective, and that's it, right? Let me move this over here. That's it. So, for example, I'm saying that, I don't know, Brian used to like cartoons. Why? Because they were so funny. I don't need to use show or programs or anything like that, because when I use so, it's just tan and then the characteristic. They eran tan graciosos, right? So they were so fun. That's it. No more. Yes. So after that, we don't have any. Yeah. It says, for example, Dr. House is so full tempered. Yeah, that's it. Full temper. It's like, how do you say, like offensive a little bit, So like cruel, como cruel. Yeah. So Dr. House is so full tempered that I hated him when I first started watching the show. Entonces también puedes incluir la cláusula con that, ¿cierto? Para hablar de la consecuencia, pero so no va a usar un sustantivo, como si pasa con such. ¿Listo, guys? Ready? Entonces, for example, the teacher, my guilty pleasure was My Little Pony. Why? Why? Because it was so fantastic. That's it. ¿Cierto? Was so fantastic. O eran muchas películas, ¿no? So in that case, I could say that they were magical. That's it. Or if I want to express what is the category of that pack, yes, if I say they, pero they, ¿a qué me refiero? ¿A los ponies o a las películas? Of course, a las películas. Then I said, they were great or such magical, magical movies, right? Yes. If I use such, it's necessary that I include the adjective, yes, but also the noun. Yes. Ese noun es simplemente la categoría del sujeto inicial. Persona, película, show, artista, whatever that you like. ¿Listo? ¿Qué tal, guys? Questions, difficulties, problems over here?
No, teacher, is clear.
Excelente, very good. So, eso en cuanto a características, ¿cierto? Es una exageración de la característica, si es muy, muy bueno, o si es un show tan bueno, o si es tan fantástico, mágico, lo que sea, whatever, right? On the other hand, we're going to exaggerate, but the number of things, yes? Entonces, for example, I said that I like Netflix because it has a lot of options, ¿cierto? It has a lot of different content, yes? I can also exaggerate that using so. Recuerden que so, it's like muy, yes? But it can be for characteristics, as in this case, solo so, or it can be for nouns, ¿cierto? Countable and not countable, ¿ya? What is the difference? Bueno, of course, that we can use so many and so few, muchos y muy poquitos, cuando es contable, and so much and so little for non-countable nouns. Okay, ready? So in that case, for example, I said the dialogue is packed with so many jokes, right? Countable, so many, a big quantity, yes? And the same, I can include that and then the other characteristic, that it's non-stop laugh from beginning to end, yes? Good. Or for example, I can say, I don't know, the Joker movie was really bad. Well, for people, I like it, but I don't know. The Joker movie, the Joker 2, yes, was so bad because it was full with so many songs, for example, or so many dances, for example, yes, or so many musical scenes, yes, when it's countable, yeah. Or if it's negative, when it has a little, yes. So I'm gonna use so few. Example, I don't know, like that artist, whatever, it's a person, no say any, he has so few skills that he should find another job, for example. Yes. So when it's so few, it's like tan poquitas, right? Or if it's so many, tantas. Oh, okay, right. So I can have like a good quantity or a bad quantity with countable nouns using so many or so few. On the other hand, I can do exactly the same using so much or so little. Yeah. One example that we can use with both for contrasting countable and not countable, it's the word options. What do you think? Countable or not countable?
Countable.
Countable.
Countable. Yeah, very good. And the other one is content. Countable or not countable?
Not countable.
Not countable, right? So I can say, for example, that Netflix has, guys, completed, please. And then I said that is the most popular. The most popular. Please complete. What do you think it comes here?
Netflix has so many options that is the most popular.
Great, excellent. Netflix has so many options that it is the most popular. Or what would be the option with content then?
Netflix has so much content that is the most popular.
Exactly. So depending on the one on the thing that I want to talk about, then I'm gonna use so many or so much. This one it uses so many because it's countable. This one uses so much because it's non-countable, right? When I'm going to say tan poquito, it's the same, but with so few, or so little, right? So in that case, that's the way. What do you think, guys? Questions about this part or not really? What do you feel?
Your teacher.
Yeah. Muy bien, very good, guys. So in that case, I'm going to have, bueno, we are going to have here two different questions. Answer the one that you prefer, but answer with an idea using any of these expressions. For example, the first question says, what is your favorite kind of movies and why? Then I'm going to say, for example, that frankly, what is the meaning of frankly?
Francamente.
Francamente, very good. Frankly, I love horror movies. Yes. So it says, okay, which one and why? So I said, frankly, I love horror movies because they are full with so much, I don't know, let's say, no, they are full with so many scary scenes, right? Sometimes they are not so entertaining. Yes, they are a little bit boring, but they are such no sé, such exciting movies. Ready? So I use so many scary scenes, so boring, and such an incredible movies, for example. Yes. Or the other question, it says, who is your favorite actor and actress and why? Then I said, for example, my favorite actor is Jim Carrey. Do you know who's Jim Carrey? Do you know who's that?
Of course, teacher.
Of course. Then I said, for example, okay, he's my favorite actor because he's so, I don't know, let's say, so expressive, yes, that it becomes in such a, I don't know, expressive person or something like that, or such a entertaining person, you know? So I can give my answer using these kind of expressions. Ready? Choose one of the questions and answer by using one of the expressions. Ready? Go ahead. You have 2 minutes. Think about it. Don't worry.
Teacher, I think my favorite actress maybe is Zendaya because he, no, she, because she, ay, se me olvidó lo que iba a decir.
Don't worry.
Un momento.
Don't worry. Relax.
Teacher,
Mhm.
um, the first ask the question, action because you never be boring.
Okay. Remember that.
Um,
Wait a second, Brian. Boring. Ay, espérame. Wait. Let me just change the color. Boring. It's the movie. So, for example, the movie will never be boring. But if you want to talk about your feelings, como que nunca vas a estar aburrido, it would be bored. Ready? ED. Esta es para hablar del sentimiento, o sea, aburrido. Cambio, esta es para hablar del, digamos, de el estado de la cosa. ¿Cómo es? Es aburridor. ¿Ready? Pero esto es aburrido, o sea, el sentimiento de la persona. ¿Listo? Entonces, the action movies because you never be bored. ¿Ok? Good. Listo. ¿Qué más, my friend?
okay. Um, who is your favorite actor? And my favorite actor is The Rock because he has such many action movies interesting.
Okay, good. Not such many, sino so many. Ready? Con so many interesting action movies. True. A lot. Is the actor with more action movies currently, no? So, muy bien, very good. So he has so many interesting action movies. Perfecto, Brian. Very good.
Uh, Undeniable. I love horror movies because they are so entertaining that they can be real stories.
Okay, very good. Good, excellent. So you also love horror movies. Muy bien. So they can be so entertaining, no? Muy bien. They can be real stories. Excellent. And my friend Christian.
Okay, I got it. My favorite actress is Zendaya for her leading role in Euphoria, which no, that was such a fantastic interpretation.
Okay. I didn't see the interpretation itself, but I saw a couple of episodes and it was really good, you know? So she was such an incredible, well, she is such an incredible actress, right? Mm,
Yes, the
literally. How old is Zendaya? How old is she?
I don't know, but she's in her 20s.
In her 20s, no? She's so young, but now she has so much experience, Euphoria, Spider-Man, Dune, a lot of different movies, right? So bueno, muy bien, very good. So, guys, in that case, that's what you can do with this kind of adverbs, no? Exaggerate that characteristic of the person or also that characteristic of the movie, yes? And also, you can do it by exaggerating a noun, yeah? Just exaggerating something that the movie or the person has, no? So, like The Rock, Dwayne Johnson has so many skills, ¿cierto? Or, for example, I don't know, his body is so well worked or well trained, yes? Or he has such a, no sé, such a curvy figure, no? So in that case, I am exaggerating the characteristics of the actor, yeah. But at the same time, I can do it with, of course, with the movies or with the TV shows. So, now, the other way, well, this is like exaggerating the characteristic for expressing my intentions, for expressing if I am serious or if I am joking or if I am very sure or if I am just like a little bit sure if it's a possibility. I am going to use the adverbs. Ready? An adverb is simply a word that modifies other words. Ready? For that reason, an adverb doesn't have a specific location in the sentence. In this case, they put it at the beginning of the sentence, right? Always at the beginning, unquestionably, seemingly, honestly, overall, not surprisingly, but it's not necessary to put it at the beginning. For example, here you can see it that possibly goes in the middle of the sentence. So an adverb it can be in any location, at the beginning, at the end, in the middle, right? Normally, more normally or more commonly, they are located before the word that they want to modify. For example, as I said in the beginning of the class, I said my favorite soap opera was undeniably Los Reyes, because I want to emphasize Los Reyes. Yes, the soap opera. But as you said, for example, undeniably, my favorite movies are the horror movies because blah blah blah. Why? Because in that case, I want to emphasize, I want to apply this adverb to all the sentence from the beginning until the end, right? So when I want to emphasize all the sentence, then I have to use the adverb at the beginning of the sentence, right? We're going to have a lot of different adverbs, a lot of different intentions, ready? And we're going to have, of course, a lot of different synonyms. Hmm? So, for example, when we want to describe that something is certain, that I am sure about something, can use clearly, definitely, obviously, unquestionably, undeniably too, right? Then, if I want to talk about like, okay, it's a possibility, but I'm not totally sure, it's opposite. Yes. So apparently, seemingly, supposedly, probably, possibly, adverbs that they say like, okay, it's not sure, it's only a possibility, right? Well, here we have possibility and probability, possibly, probably, potentially, it's basically the same. Ready? Good. Talking honestly and directly. Hmm? So when I say, okay, I am expressing myself with all my honesty, So honestly, it's one. Yes, directly, it's another one. And also we have frankly, you already told me, francamente, honestly, and seriously. Yeah. So all of them finishing with Lee. Yes. But there are others that don't finish in Lee. Yes. Like it's not a rule. It's like the most common thing, right? But it's not all 100%. Yeah. Here we have the next intention, which is summarizing. What do you mean, or what do you think it's the meaning of summarizing, guys? What do I mean when I say summarizing? What is that?
como para abreviar.
More or less, more or less. More than abbreviate, it's for summarize. It means resumir, ¿cierto? Entonces, como para un resumen, yes, like in conclusion, para concluir, right? So in that case, it's basically, yes, essentially, fundamentally, mainly, overall. Overall, it means sobre todo, yeah, like to for giving a conclusion about a topic. Ready? So all of them, except for overall, with Lee. Yes. When they are in or when they finish in Lee, usually they come from Latin. So for Colombians, or bueno, for people who speak Spanish, it's simple to understand the meaning, because they are very similar to the Spanish words, because they come from Latin words. So that's why they are very similar to the ones in Spanish. So these adverbs are easy to use because they are very similar to Spanish words. Okay. Then we have other different attitudes, other different intentions, like for example, amazingly. Yeah. Well, guys, if amazing, it's sorprendente. What do you mean it's the meaning of amazingly?
Sorprendentemente.
Sorprendentemente, of course, that is a synonym of surprisingly, or the opposite, not surprisingly, predictably, fortunately, unfortunately. These ones are very, very common, very, very popular to use, right? So these adverbs are going to allow me to express my intention more, like more clearly. Yes, exactly like that. The other person is going to know if I am certain, estoy seguro, yes. The other person is going to know if I am certain, or if I am not certain, or if it's only a possibility, or if I am telling the truth, yes, or if I am just wanting to leave, si ya me quiero ir y quiero como, close the idea. Yes? So the adverb is going to permit me to do that, okay, to express my real intention. Hmm? Okay, guys. Now, in this case, we already talked about my favorite movie, my favorite series, my favorite TTT. Yes. But I have another question here. Give me 1 second over here. Yes. The first one you already answered, that it's what is your guilty pleasure? That's it. Ready? But second, you tell me unquestionably what is your favorite gender. Gender, it's like action or like not specifically in movies, no, but it can be about music. Yes. It can be about, like, for example, suspense, everything, series, movies, all of them, no? Or comedies, for example, it's a gender. Yes. So it's more general. Yeah, okay. So I would like to know unquestionably, like definitely, yes, what is your favorite genre and why? Okay. I love the horror movies, but I don't like all the suspense genre. Yeah, because some of them are very boring. So, for example, my favorite genre is comedy. Yeah. Why? Of course, because it is such a relaxing genre. Yeah, for me, sitting down and watching a comedy movie or a series, a sitcom. By the way, what is the meaning of sitcom? Ahora que lo recuerdo, sitcom, ¿a qué le suena eso? Do you know what is that? What is the meaning of sitcom? No, any idea? Sitcom are shows, comedies. It calls situational, situational comedy. Yes. And they are shows similar to Friends, The Big Bang Theory, Two and a Half Men, A Good Place, what other? The Office. No, those kind of shows are called sitcoms. Y se llaman situational comedy. Ready? Entonces, that's my answer. My favorite gender is comedy because it's such a relaxing gender. Fin, that's it. What about you? What is your favorite gender? Si ya me dijeron, for example, Brian ya me dijo cuál era su favorito, ahora I would like to know what is your less favorite gender? Sorry, the one that you don't like so much. What do you think?
Teacher, my least favorite genre is maybe the action movies because um it were such a I don't know, such a boring genre for me.
Yeah, very good. For some people, it's that opinion. It's more common than you would think. Yes, a lot of people feel bored by the actions. But it was, no, it were, because was is for singular, were for plural. So it was, or it is actually in this case, no. So such a boring gender for me. Muy bien. Good.
But I was talking about action movies.
Okay, good. But in this case, bueno, if we are talking about genre, it's it. So it's it. Yes. But if you say movies, so you would say they were. They, you were, it was good with were. Yes. So
Oh, okay.
they were such a bar. So such, and when I use plural, I don't use such a, I just use such. Yes. So they were such boring movies. Great. Excellent. Listo. Muy bien. Brian, Daniela, what do you think?
My favorite genre is psychological horror because it is so analytical and entertaining
Good.
and have so many real situations.
Completely true. Yes, a lot of different mental illnesses, no? So good, excellent. So her favorite genre is psychological movie because it is so analytical and so entertaining because it has so many real situations. Wonderful, very good. And Mr. Brian, what do you think?
Teacher, the general that I hate is the romantic because has so many sad moments.
Very good. The genre, it's romance. Es como romance, ready? Romantic es la característica de las películas. O sea, you can say romantic movies or romantic series or romantic music, for example. But romance es todo el género, ¿cierto? El género de romance. ¿Listo? Muy bien, Brian, because it has so many sad movies, ¿no? So good. It is so stressing. Okay, very good, guys. So in that case, as you could see, what you could do today, well, we focus on TV and series, but you exaggerate a lot of different characteristics, right? But of course, remember that we are talking about global issues. We can talk about music, we can talk about politics, we can talk about um, I don't know, how do you say that? Current situations, like problems, environmental problems. Yes. I would say, like, no, say, for example, the global warming is such a terrible problem, or the recycling is such a good way to take care of the planet. Certo? Or in Colombia, there are so many ways to recycle, for example. Or in Colombia, there is so much, how do you say, consciousness, conciencia, consciousness about the environmental problems. Yes. So, pardon, you can use these kind of descriptions for describe anything: the animals, the people, the movies, the sports, whatever that you want to describe, you can do it using these kind of exaggerations. Ready? Just take into account if you want to talk about a characteristic or a noun. And if it's a noun, the noun is countable or not countable. And if you want to talk about a big quantity or a small quantity, that's it. Right? I think what's easy for you. So that's it. Guys, questions, problems, difficulties over here? Everything clear?
Clear, teacher.
Clear. Muy bien. Good. Guys, the next week we have class on Wednesday, 8 p.m. It's just one class. Ready? So see you there. See you the next week on Wednesday. Nothing. Have a good weekend. Remember to complete the activities. Ready? Because February the 19th, the platform is closed. So remember to complete activities on the right order. So, guys, have a good night. Thank you so much for the participation and for the attention, and see you the next week. Okay, on Wednesday.
Okay, teacher, thank you. Good night.
Thanks to you. Goodbye.
Bye, teacher. Thanks.
Bye bye. See you soon.